Rain hissed against the windshield as Marcus checked his watch. AO2, 47 a.m., right on schedule. Inside the van, the four of them sat in silence, their masks resting on their laps, the faint glow of the laptop screen washing their faces in blue. "Security loop starts in 60 seconds, said Eli, their tech. His hands trembled, not from fear, but caffeine and adrenaline. "Once it rolls, we have exactly 9 minutes before it resets." Jax, the muscle, cracked his knuckles. 9 minutes is plenty, unless someone screws up. His voice was low and dangerous, half warning, half promise. Marcus ignored him and zipped up his gloves. "No one's screwing up. In and out, no noise, no improvising." He looked at Riley, the only woman on the crew, her expression unreadable under the dim light. She was the strategist, the one who'd drawn the blueprints, memorized every step, and made this impossible job seem simple. "Let's move," she said, calm and cold. The museum loomed over them, sleek glass and steel, silent in the downpour. Eli's signal jammer buzzed softly as they slipped past the loading dock. The door lock blinked red, then green. Inside, their boots left wet prints on marble floors. Every sound seemed amplified. The drip of rain from Marcus's sleeve, the hum of the lights. "Vaults ahead," Riley whispered, leading them through the hallway. "Cameras are blind for another 8 minutes. Jax carried the duffel with the cutting torch. He was the only one breathing loud. The guy loved the rush too much. When they reached the exhibit vault, the sight was almost surreal. A single glass case, and inside it, the Valen ruby, the size of a golf ball, burning red even under the pale security lights. "Worth 15 million, Eli muttered, setting up the override. "Worth 30, to the right buyer," Riley corrected. Marcus smirked. "Then let's not waste time." The lock hissed open with a soft click. Eli's hands flew across the console. "Motion sensors frozen. 2 minutes on the loop." Jax swung the torch to the hinges. Sparks lit the room, tiny suns bursting against the glass. The case gave way with a soft pop. Marcus lifted the ruby gently, holding it up to the light. "Beautiful," he whispered. But when he looked at Riley, she wasn't looking at the ruby. She was looking at the reflection of the hallway behind them. "Someone's here," she breathed. They froze. A faint footstep. Another. Then silence. Jax aimed his pistol. "You said we were clear?" "Shut up," Marcus hissed. He peered down the hall. The beam of a flashlight cut across the marble, slow, methodical. Not security, not the cops. "Who is it?" Eli whispered. Riley's voice was a whisper of dread. "It's him." A tall figure stepped into view. Leather gloves, dark coat, no mask. Cole, the fifth man, the one who wasn't supposed to be here. "Easy," Marcus said, lowering his weapon but keeping his eyes locked. "You were paid off, Cole. You got your cut." Cole smiled faintly. "I did, but I decided it wasn't enough." Before anyone could react, Cole fired. A single shot. Eli crumpled, blood blooming across his hoodie. The laptop fell to the floor, screens flashing red. Loop terminated. The alarms screamed to life. "Move!" Marcus shouted. Jax grabbed the ruby, smashing the case into pieces. Riley dragged Eli toward the door, but the sirens were already blaring through every hallway. Cole vanished into the smoke of the alarms like a ghost. They ran through the rain-soaked alley, lungs burning, sirens echoing behind them. Marcus slammed the van door shut. "Go! Go!" The tires screeched. The city blurred. Riley's hands were shaking now, covered in blood. "He was supposed to be gone, Marcus. You paid him off." Marcus stared straight ahead, jaw clenched. "I did." "Then why was he there?" Marcus didn't answer. The ruby sat between them on the van floor, gleaming red under the streetlights, like a heartbeat. Behind them, the city screamed with alarms. Ahead of them, silence, and somewhere in between, a plan had just fallen apart. The warehouse was cold. the kind of cold that soaked into the walls and whispered through the cracks. Riley sat on a crate, hands still trembling, watching Marcus pace. Jax leaned against the van, breathing hard, eyes fixed on the ruby glowing under a single hanging bulb. Eli was gone. No one said his name. Cole knew everything, Riley said finally. The routes, the timing, the vault codes. Someone told him. Marcus stopped pacing. No one told him. He was watching. Jax laughed bitterly. Then he's a ghost. He shot Eli and disappeared into smoke. What now, boss? Marcus hated that word, boss. This crew wasn't supposed to have leaders, just rules. But ever since he'd planned the job, the others had looked to him. And now, one man down and alarms blaring all over the city, every eye was on him again. We split the take, Marcus said quietly. Tonight, Riley's voice cracked. After what just happened? Yes. Before anyone else shows up. You know the rule. No loot stays together after a job. Jax's face twisted into a grin. You still play by rules, huh? Thought that went out the window when Eli hit the floor. Marcus turned slowly. You got something to say? Yeah, Jax said, stepping forward. I think you and her, he nodded at Riley, knew more than you are saying. Riley stood. Watch your mouth. He smirked. Oh, I'm watching. You planned the whole thing, Riley. Maybe Cole wasn't supposed to show, maybe he was. Either way, looks to me like someone wanted the payout to shrink. Her hand went to her pistol, but Marcus stopped her. Not here. His voice had steel in it. Jax spat on the floor. You don't scare me, Marcus. You're just a man trying to control chaos. Guess what? Chaos wins. He grabbed the ruby from the crate. Marcus didn't move. He just said, put it down. Make me. The room froze. For a second, all anyone could hear was the soft hum of the lights and the faint rattle of rain outside. Then a single shot rang out. The ruby hit the floor first, then Jax. Smoke curled from Riley's gun barrel. Jesus, Marcus whispered. He wasn't gonna... He was, Riley said flatly. Her hand didn't shake this time. Marcus stared at Jax's body, blood creeping slowly toward the ruby. He picked it up and wiped it clean. 2 down, he muttered. Riley met his eyes. What about Cole? He won't stop, Marcus said. He'll come for the rest, but if he wants his cut, he'll have to find it first. Hours later, Riley stood by the river, the wind cutting through her jacket. The city skyline shimmered behind her, a broken promise of peace. Marcus approached quietly, duffel bag slung over his shoulder. He's not gonna stop, she said. I know. Then what's the plan? Marcus unzipped the bag. The ruby wasn't there, just stacks of cash. And a phone, buzzing, unknown number. He answered. Cole's voice, smooth and slow. Nice night by the river, Marcus. You always did like this spot. Marcus froze. Where are you? Closer than you think. The line went dead. Riley's eyes darted across the shadows. He's watching us. Marcus looked at the water, then back at her. No. He's waiting for us to run. She frowned. So what do we do? Marcus tightened his grip on the duffel. We give him what he wants. Riley's eyes widened. You're going to hand him the money? Marcus looked into the darkness. No, he said quietly. We give him the cut. The rain hadn't stopped since the night of the heist. It was steady now, quiet, patient, like the city itself was waiting for the final shot. Marcus and Riley moved through the abandoned subway tunnels beneath the river. The smell of rust and wet concrete filled the air. Marcus carried the duffel bag. Riley carried her silence. He knows these tunnels, she said finally. Marcus nodded. So do I. She stopped, her voice low. You still haven't told me what you meant by the cut. Marcus didn't answer. He set the bag on the ground and pulled out a small black box, a transmitter. "When I worked with Cole years ago," he said, "he used to brag about being untouchable. Always one step ahead, always watching. Said he didn't need to trust anyone because he had everyone tracked." "And you think we can turn that on him?" Marcus gave a thin smile. "Not think? No." They stopped in a maintenance alcove. Marcus laid the ruby on a cracked workbench. Riley stared at it. Beautiful, almost too bright against the filth. "You replaced the cash with this? The money's bait. This," he gestured to the ruby, "is the trigger." She frowned. "You're using the ruby as a bomb?" He shook his head. "No, as a signal." Riley's pulse quickened. "Marcus, what did you do?" Marcus connected 2 wires, the transmitter blinking red. "I've been feeding Cole fake data since the night he shot Eli. He thinks I'm hiding his cut, but the GPS leads straight here. The moment he pings this location..." The transmitter beeped once. Marcus's smile faded. He already pinged it. They ducked behind the pillars as footsteps echoed down the tunnel, slow, confident. Cole's silhouette appeared, gun in one hand, flashlight in the other. His voice was calm, almost amused. "You know what I like about you, Marcus? You always think you're smarter than everyone else." Marcus stepped out from behind the pillar, gun raised. "And you always think you're the only one with a gun." Cole laughed. "Cute. But you're out of time." Riley's finger twitched on her trigger. "Try me." Cole's eyes flicked toward her. Ah, Riley, always loyal to the wrong man. She hesitated, just a fraction of a second, but Cole saw it. He fired. The shot hit the wall inches from her head, showering sparks. Riley dove for cover as Marcus returned fire. The tunnel erupted. Thunder, flashes, echoes of ricochets. Cole moved like smoke, disappearing between columns. "You really thought you could turn my system against me?" he shouted. "Not against you," Marcus said. "Through you." Cole frowned. "What?" Marcus pressed the transmitter's final switch. A sharp pulse filled the air, followed by a crackling surge that made the tunnel lights flicker and die. Cole looked at his phone. It was glowing, too bright, too hot, before the screen shattered in his hand. He cursed, dropping it. "What the hell did you—" "Every tracker you used on us," Marcus said, stepping closer, just looped back. The signal burned through Cole's own network, erasing his data, wiping his accounts, his identity, his control. Cole's smirk finally broke. "You think this ends me?" Marcus aimed steady. "No, I think this cuts you out." He fired. Cole staggered, fell against the tunnel wall, and slid down into the shadows. Silence. Only the hum of the water pipes remained. Riley lowered her gun, breathing hard. "Is he dead?" Marcus stared at the fallen phone still sparking on the ground. "No one ever dies clean in this business." He picked up the ruby, pocketed it, and turned toward the light at the end of the tunnel. Riley followed slowly. "What happens now?" Marcus didn't look back. "We finished the job." The sun rose pale and tired over the city. The rain had stopped, but the streets still glistened, like the world hadn't yet decided if it wanted to wash away the blood or remember it. Marcus parked the van at the edge of the docks. The river shimmered cold gray beneath the skyline. Riley stepped out beside him, her coat heavy, her silence heavier. "You sure this is smart?" she asked. Marcus didn't answer. He walked to the trunk, opened it, and pulled out the duffel. Inside, the ruby, still gleaming like a heart, that refused to stop beating. "This is where it ends," he said. "One sale, clean transfer, and we disappear." Riley folded her arms. "And you really think Cole's dead?" Marcus zipped the bag shut. "I think he's out of the game." She studied him, eyes sharp. "You don't sound convinced." Marcus looked at her for a long time. "I've stopped believing in clean endings." The buyer arrived at noon. A black car rolled up the dock. Out stepped a man in a gray suit, mirrored glasses, calm as if he were ordering coffee, 2 guards behind him. "You Marcus Hale?" the man asked. "Depends who's asking." "Name's Carson. We've been expecting you." He gestured toward the bag. "You have the package?" Marcus placed it on the hood of the van. Carson unzipped it, eyes widening at the ruby's glow. "Beautiful," he said softly. "And you're sure no one followed you?" Riley answered. "Positive." Carson nodded once to his men. One handed Marcus a black case. "Half now, half when we confirm the gem's clean." Marcus snapped the case open. Neat stacks of $100 bills, enough to buy silence for life. Carson pocketed the ruby and walked toward his car. "Pleasure doing business." The engine started. Tires rolled, and then, boom, a flash of light, a roar that shattered windows. The car exploded into a rolling ball of flame. Marcus and Riley hit the ground as debris rained over the dock. Riley coughed, eyes wide. "What the hell was that?" Marcus stared at the burning wreck. A message. From the smoke, a figure emerged, limping, coat singed, face streaked with ash but alive. Cole. He was smiling. "Told you, Marcus, no one dies clean." He raised his gun. Riley froze. Marcus reached for his, but stopped. Cole wasn't aiming at him. The shot cracked. Riley fell. Cole lowered his weapon. "She sold us both out. Told Carson where to meet you. I just saved you the trouble." Marcus's voice was raw. "You're lying!" Cole tossed a blood-stained phone at his feet. Messages lit the screen. Timestamps, locations, money transfers. Riley's name on all of them. Marcus's breath caught. His partner, his planner, his betrayer. Cole laughed softly. "Don't look so surprised. In this world, there's no such thing as trust. Only cuts." He turned to leave, limping toward the burning car. Marcus raised his gun. Cole stopped. "You're not gonna shoot me, you need me." Marcus's voice was quiet. "Not anymore." The gunshot echoed across the river. Cole dropped without a sound. Marcus stood alone now. Smoke curled into the morning air. He looked at Riley's body, then at the case still lying open. Money fluttering like dead leaves in the wind. He took one stack, shoved it into his coat, and left the rest. At the edge of the dock, he tossed the ruby into the river. It vanished beneath the gray water, a red spark swallowed by silence. As the sun climbed higher, Marcus whispered to himself, "There's no clean cut, just smaller scars." He walked away, leaving behind the fire, the money, and the ghosts. The end.